Hello everyone, this is Algus. This is another Let's Play. I did a few things differently for this Let's Play. For one, I'm using a headset, so the audio should be a bit better. This time I'm going to be working on Symphony of Eternity. The reason why I'm not doing Final Fantasy VI Revelations is because my group is not yet ready to do the next part in that, so I'll go ahead and get started. This is a Android iPhone game by the company Kemco, which produces a good deal many iPhone and Android games. These are usually between $5 and $9 on Steam, or not Steam, but the Android market and the iOS market, if I'm not mistaken. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Pro tip, whenever a game begins with a prayer, you know it's going to be not so well. For some reason, when I see this guy, I always picture him having Vera Bradley's voice from Full Metal Alchemist. As you can see earlier, there was a coup d'etat. The princess has been forced out by the captain of the royal guard. We're now introduced to Priest and Dauturu, who are in the middle of their adventure. News travels really quickly, and they're able to figure out that, yes, there has been a coup d'etat. Not like the coup d'etat really concerns them at this point.
さて、始めよう。
This game features a very fun battle system as well as a movement system. I'm using a BlueStacks emulator to play this, but I'm able to move just by mouse click, which on the default on the phone would just be finger press. It comes with a map. You can see the immediate area you're in, and you can see you also have the ability to switch to fixed C keys or movable C keys, or fixed for now, just to show how that would work. You can move like that or that. Since I'm playing on a computer, though, I'm going to be preferring the touch. The downside is the corner buttons are still up the top. I'm trying to kill that one guy up the very basically what you have here are your commands: attack, special, item, run away. Since it's really early in the game, I don't really need to do much. I'm just going to do basic attacks on these guys. The game has its own set of voice actors, all Japanese voice actors who voiced over. And I'm actually impressed with that.
まあこんなところだな。やるぞ。
Right now we're just fighting some of the really basic enemies, and now we're just fighting a plant.
まあこんなところだな。
As we go through this game, it's going to get a little bit more difficult as far as the guys we have to end up fighting.
さて始めよう。
The bad habit of mine to just kill everybody. I may edit a few of these battles out when I post this Let's Play. It's a nice turn-based strategy. You get more turns and you get to move faster based on your speed stat. Go over the stats a little bit later. In case you're wondering, the percent bars down here, they essentially are your break meter. When you get 100%, you can use a break, which can be applied either to your attack, or your spell, or your technique, and it does. It increases the potency for the turn it's cast. Or used. Kemco has produced a lot of RPGs that are available for both the Android and the iPhone. A lot of them are in the similar vein of this game. This is the actual main one that I've played so far, so I have a little bit of knowledge about this, but they occasionally have deals. Just last week they had one where everything was going for about $1. Here we meet our princess, who's about to get attacked by wolves, or demons. Wolf demons. essentially they just introduced what Dauturu is. He's a golem of ancient technology. We'll find more about them later. Is taking her town away from demons. This is the world map. You will not get attacked by monsters in the world map. However, they do put some limits as to where you can go exactly. For instance, if I want to go to this dungeon, I can't do that yet. I can't go back to that forest, but you'll find out later through this game that they do put limits. One of the things I notice about this is a lot of these towns have a very simple design. Usually just the 3 core shops you need and just a generic town, or generic house, I should say. Not a fan of the town design, but you know, it's just an iPhone game. They don't really need to be that complicated. Important to say, probably just mostly talk about the coup d'etat. Which is the name of the castle, or kingdom. Probably the worst explanation for why a robot can eat I've ever heard, but yeah, I'll go with it. Fun times. They're on the search for a substance that can grant any wish. These are very simple wishes. A good life is always something worth long story short, she wants to get this, have the wish in order to save her kingdom from the tyrant. She wants to reclaim her power. Our heroes decide, sure, we'll take you along with us. And we're going to end up taking her into a number of dungeons, and she's going to be fighting with us. This is the item shop. I'm going to be saving up for a lot of these weapons off-screen. I'm going to be training for a bit. But I'll go ahead and show you. You have a weapon shop. You have the item shop, which is worth checking out. Not only does it sell just basic items, they sell these right here. These right here. What tablets are? This game has a class system. Depending on what you choose through your tablets, you can change your class. For instance, Hunter, we can buy this, and then Priest or Lish will be able to change class into being a Hunter. I don't have the details on that since I don't own it yet, but I'll show you with this items that we have, or tablets. Right now, with Priest, you can be either a knight or a cleric. When we fight in battles, we get item or points called TP. Right now, throughout all the battles I've got about 17 TP total in the knight class. At 30, I'll be able to memorize defense, which reduces the damage sustained to a certain extent, but physical attack increases or decreases. As you go through getting more experience or TP in this department, or technical points, I guess, you'll be able to use defense, repeat attack, and gain an additional 100 HP. Just based on having enough TP, and you'll be able to keep that. What it says here is these are merit points. It's another field that I'll discuss with shortly. Even though I don't know these abilities fully yet, I'm able to use them. They will disappear if I switch class, and I haven't memorized them yet. But I can continue from whatever my current TP is on my class. Lish, of course, is using the cleric tablet, which has all the basic healing stuff with resistance for the last level. Dautaru is different because he is a golem. He uses kits instead of the tomes or tablets. We'll acquire more of those. I think his are mostly in dungeons as items. The next feature I want to talk about is merit points. These are, when you level up, you get a merit point, and you get to decide where you want to put it in, be it physical attack, magical attack, any form of defense or evasion. You can easily just go through and distribute wherever. Again, as you memorize some of these, you can get bonus merit points added on as a permanent, like the magic defense merit points. Of course, when you memorize or master these, you get other benefits as well, depending on the class. Some classes give special abilities based on what you memorize. Essentially, our lead, me, our priest, and Dautaru, we're heading to this direction, to this cave, or not cave, but I suppose it's a ruin, yeah. We're examining this for our wish granting item.
一丁やりますか。
She's just still trying to get used to being an adventurer. She's not quite up to par with Priest or Deltarly. Her class build-up tends to lean toward magic. But magic is very useful in this game.
まあこんなところだな。
If I'm not mistaken, there are 6 elements: fire, water, wind, earth, light, and darkness. And most of the bosses have either strengths or weaknesses depending on the element. Especially if you have a break, you can do a serious amount of damage to an element.
Yeah!
まあこんなところだな。
That map is very useful.
頑張らないと。おりゃ！や！で！や！
いい感じだ。
行きます。でい！うわ！えい！
Oh yeah, I forget, this game has an auto feature. In combat, you hit auto, and it will automatically set it to basic attack.
それ！
Everyone here will do it until you press the stop button in the top corner.
えいえい！
Right now, I'm trying mostly to get money, but also build up my break meter, so when I fight the boss, I'll be very suited.
一丁やりますか。
If I remember correctly, the first boss actually did give me a good deal of difficulty. These bosses aren't easy by any stretch. It is well worth training, getting the best equipment before taking them out.
でい！や！
まあこんなところだな。
So before I go down any further, I'm going to do this area several times, and I will be back for another Let's Play. This has been Algus, and this has been a Final Fantasy Chronicles production. Do be sure to visit our site, and I'll see you guys later.